All right, I'm going to go over the fifth cognitive bias in Charlie Munger's book. This one's the consistency bias. And you can kind of see why this exists, like human beings being social creatures. If we lean towards being more consistent in our behavior and beliefs, it's easier for all the other human beings interacting with us to read us and know what to expect. So it makes it a lot easier to set up a society. So you could see where evolution would favor a trait of this nature. Anyway, this can definitely be a funny bias. Like one of the little experiments they did is they went to all these people and they're like, well, you put this huge banner on your house that says, slow down, we're tired of people driving bad. And everyone's like, no way, man, that's unreasonable. That will make my house look unsightly. I'm not gonna do that. And so they're like, yeah. So they went to a different group of people, and these people they asked to just put a small little sign that wouldn't be quite as much of an eyesore and not like just wreck the overall aesthetics of the property as much. And obviously more people agreed to this than the big banner thing because it wasn't as unreasonable. So then about a month later, they came back to these people that had agreed to put the little sign and asked if they'd put a big obnoxious banner on their house. And a much, much larger percentage of them agreed than before. And it's because they saw themselves as the people that promoted safe driving. And so they were being consistent with their behavior. And so salesmen will do things like this all the time. They'll get you to agree to something that seems reasonable, and then they'll just keep building on that until finally you're willing to buy something that perhaps you weren't willing to buy when you first walked in. And there's a lot of ways that this can get you in trouble. Like one, of course, is to be set in beliefs that aren't congruent with reality. And when a person brings information to you that contradicts what you believe, instead of weighing the evidence and seeing if it makes sense and adapting accordingly, a lot of times you'll just shut them down and hold strongly to what you believe because you want to be right. You don't want to feel as if you've been living your life incorrectly all these years and that your beliefs have been off base all these years. So this is a bias that can really hold you back in life. How many people have you met where what they're doing obviously doesn't work, but they think that the world's crazy and the world's not fair, instead of looking at how the world really is and adapting accordingly? This specific cognitive bias plays a huge role in that. And so you have to be aware it exists and try really hard to think, well, maybe some of my beliefs and thoughts aren't 100% in line with reality, and maybe I should try to be a little bit more neutral when weighing things, instead of weighing it from a vantage point of, I believe this my whole life and feel like this is most likely correct, and I might consider this a little, but I seriously doubt it's the case. That's not really the correct way to evaluate things if you want to grow as a person and move ahead, because the more accurately you assess reality and adapt accordingly, the better you'll be at adapting to reality and moving ahead. So another silly thing about this consistency thing that Ben Franklin would take advantage of is he would have somebody who he respected, who he wanted to become friends with and get acquainted with, do a simple favor for him. Like he'd go up to them and be like, could I please borrow this book, or something real small and reasonable that really wouldn't like be much of a struggle for the person to do. Like, oh yeah, sure, you can borrow this book. Like, it's a good book. I hope that you learned something. And then he would come and return it. Well, by doing that, he would open the door. Like with this consistency bias, they want to think, well, I want to do something to help somebody of no value who I don't like. So it would open a door where they see him as someone valuable because they were willing to lend him something. And then he would be able to open friendships and create alliances with powerful people that had accomplished things. So you can see knowledge of this is really good. It can help you to grow and to move along and accomplish your goals. And if you use other people's bias in a way to help you get where you need to go, but not in a way where you exploit it, just in a way where you take advantage of it, but try to create win-win situations, and then you're aware that you have this bias and try your best not to let it hold you back, I think it will really help you to improve your lot in life. So this is definitely a good one to be aware of.